Hey folks, how you doing? Papa Joe here. Oh goodness, what a weekend. It's Sunday night. I had to make a decision whether to drive into Houston tonight or get up early in the morning, come in the morning. I chose tonight. They got me a load picks up between 7 and 8 a.m. Wrong time they'd be coming into Houston. So I would have had to leave the house at least by 5. Or I could come in tonight, make sure I got here before 9 o'clock so that I'd have a 10-hour break at 7 when this place opens. Not that I figure I'll get loaded that quick, but you never know. Then they want me in Tulsa tomorrow, I think between 4 and 5 o'clock. But it's only 500 miles. However, oh, come on already. Pain in the butt. Trying to see what time I deliver. Between 3 and 5 tomorrow. So, in Tulsa. If I'm out of here by 8, that's going to give me 7 to 9 hours to make it. Thank you. And that's getting out of Houston. Gonna have to go through Dallas, run up 75 and across the turnpike. So it might take an extra minute or two. Regardless, the way I work this stuff is I get out there and do my job to the best of my ability according to the weather and the traffic and everything else, shippers and receivers and all that nonsense. And let it fall where it falls. As long as I can look them in the eye, so to speak, and tell them I did my job, I'm good, you know. So that's what I did. I've set myself up for tomorrow so that if everything goes south, don't blame the truck driver. It's kind of a small place I'm at, so hopefully they won't drag it out too long. However, getting out of Houston might take a minute. That'll put me getting to Dallas right at noon. It shouldn't be too bad. Running on across the turnpike. So actually, hopefully a little bit before noon, but I didn't do any cooking videos. I did a little bit of cooking. We have got a young lad hired to help us around the house, yard work and stuff. And yesterday he killed a copperhead in our yard. It was only a foot or so long, if that. But it don't matter, even them little ones can hurt our dogs. And we just lost the one last fall. So when we lost him, the wife wanted a bunch of the flower beds and stuff taken up. They came up. I'm trying to do whatever I can to keep the snakes out of the yard. So we made a run into town. Got what's called Snake Away. We're going to put that down. We've heard a lot of good about it. Well, we got a bunch of poison ivy and sumac and stuff like that. So we went ahead and got some spray for that. My weed eater ain't been working too good. It's a gas one. It gave up the ghost last fall. I've had it at the shop and they ain't called me to come get it. They wasn't sure they could fix it. So I bit the bullet and went and bought me one of them battery operated ones. A Cobalt. So yesterday was pretty busy and so was today. I kind of like that Cobalt. It takes 30 minutes to charge that big old battery. And it's supposed to last about an hour and a half. That's longer than I lasted. I got done what I needed to do with it this morning, which was a little bit of trimming around the fences and whatnot. Skipping a few places, simply because there was poison ivy or sumac there, places I knew we wanted to spray. When you're spraying that poison on that stuff, you're supposed to spray it on their leaves and let them take that poison to the root and kill them. And then today I got hard after it. I wasn't going to mow. It wasn't that bad. And you know, it was 6 inches or so tall. And I'd planned on doing that cooking today. Well, after that little snake deal, I decided I better go ahead and knock it on down. So I did. And I bought some more stuff I need to do next weekend. Got a little bit of stuff stacked up around the fences and whatnot. It's a place for snakes to hide. Remove their places to hide and you done did something. Plus with that snake away, which hopefully the wife will put that out this week. But while I was in town yesterday, we hit the store, and I'd planned on doing some poppers, which I bought the jalapenos and whatnot. I thought that boy was going to work today. He was talking like he was. And I told him to find out when he went home for lunch if his parents had plans or if he wanted to work or what. He came back, he was there when I got back. Well, Mama's going to think about it. I said, no, wrong answer. You know, what's she going to do? Tell you tonight so that you can come over in the morning? No. I want to make plans now for today's work and tomorrow's work. So if it's up in the air, I'll tell you, no. Take the day off. It's Easter. Just take the day off. Which your wife said I shouldn't have done him like that, but oh well. I mean, he's 19. It ain't like he's 12. But I got hard after it out there mowing today. Sunburnt the old sex machine there, the solar panel a little bit. Even rolled around for a few hours without a shirt, trying to give me a little bit of sunburn. Hopefully it'll turn to a tan. But I found Boston butts on sale for $1.09 a pound. That's pretty good. So I grabbed 2 of them. Stuck one in the freezer and I stuck one in the crock pot this morning. I'm up early and it was too wet to do anything outside morning to do. It's foggy as I'll get out. I went ahead and I put that Boston butt, or that, put it in the crock pot. Didn't grab no glasses or anything, and I thought I'd turned it on high. I go back in there a couple hours later, I've got it on warm. Like, really? You dummy. Well, then it went on high. But I made pulled pork. There ain't nothing to it, folks, you know. For what I did, I stuck that Boston butt in there. I put some of Mama's rub on it. And I cooked it for all day. Then this evening when I went in there, I turned it off. it had done pulled away from that bone, and I let it cool off, and I deboned it, pulled it apart, which I just take 2 forks, and it just breaks right apart. Threw a little bit of barbecue sauce in there. I didn't have Mama's, but I had some Sweet Baby Ray. So I made some pulled pork. I got a couple little containers back there, probably half dozen sandwiches or something. I don't know. There were probably 3 or 4 sandwiches. Fix that part of this up. I hope it ain't too noisy, because that AC back there ain't cutting the mustard. Thank you. So I did that. Then right before we went outside, I waited on Mama to wake up. Right before we went outside and started working, I went ahead and made them meatballs I told you about. And wasn't nothing special to them. I got one of them big old hamburger rolls, 5-pound rolls, and I used about 2/3 of it. I left some for there at the house, 1.5 pounds or whatever. I've told you about that Weber gourmet burger. I use that seasoning. So I put that in there, worked it in real good, and then made meatballs. Most of us know how to work meat, make meatballs. Work that meat real good together, get it packed together, then you roll it out in your hands, make a ball. Hardest thing about it is getting uniformity to the size of the balls. Now, Mama offered me a little different thing, but it was too big. The other one she had was too small. So, you know, like an ice cream scoop or one of the metal ones that you see them serving food with. So I had to do it by hand. Let's see. 4, 8, I made 16 meatballs. And I put them in a crock pot. We do have 3 crock pots, in case you're wondering. 2 large ones and 1 medium sized or smaller one. The wife took and made some kind of a broth out of some stuff she has now. Instead of just buying the beef and all that kind of broth, she was turned on to some stuff that she makes, and no, it ain't bouillon cubes. So she made me a cup of that broth, and I put it in there for it to have to cook. And let them cook pretty much all day. Then I took the meatballs out later in the evening. Now, we worked outside a long time, and I started a video on what I was doing. And I laid the tablet down on the counter in there, and we went outside and started work. And when I came back in, the battery had done went down on this, and it had cut the film off. Ain't a big deal. You know, I've had splicing done before on these videos. But when we got done and came back in, it was a little after 4 o'clock. And I had to leave by 7. So, and we hadn't ate yet. I had a little bit before 4, I guess. So we sat down, took us a few minute break, and then we got up and went in the kitchen and we got after it. So I didn't have enough time to go ahead and do any more filming. I just didn't, it wasn't there. So she cooked the noodles for the meatballs. I did the pulled pork, pulled it apart and whatnot, dished it up, dished her some up. I'd found some ribeye steaks yesterday on sale. So I grabbed 2 packs of them, 3 in a pack, which I'd planned on cooking them and bringing some with me. I stuck 1 pack of them in the freezer, and I cooked the other 3 on the stovetop. And they turned out pretty good, actually. So I got some 4 big old bacon potatoes. I'd planned on making twice baked potatoes. That didn't happen. I wrapped up 3 of them in shrink wrap and threw them in the microwave. Cooked them in there, so we had a baked potato and a steak, and she had some shrimp in the icebox. I told her I was going to do some shrimp, so I didn't buy any yesterday. She laid some out, so I made lemon pepper shrimp. So for dinner tonight we had steak and shrimp and baked potato. And I don't eat a whole lot of shrimp because of my allergies. Well, I did eat I don't know, 8, 10 pieces, whatever. They little bitty guys, tails on type deal. I ate 1 of the steaks. She ate a half a steak, and I'd cooked 3 baked potatoes. She ate a half of 1 of them, and I ate most of 1 of mine. So for the other 1 and mine that was left from my dinner, cut them up, put them in a container with some pepper and butter. I took that last steak and cut it in half and cut it up. So I got 2 trays of steak and taters back there. She cooked up the noodles, and she started trying to make that gravy stuff, carne asada or whatever it is she had made before, you remember? And it just wasn't working for her tonight. And it wouldn't thicken up. So she was asking me, you want me to do it? No, it's fine. We'll just make do with what we got. So it's a thick broth is about all it amounted to. So I got like 3 trays of meatballs. There's 4 meatballs and some noodles and some of that thick broth poured all over them. So I brought out 5 meals plus the pulled pork. So I'm alright. But we was hitting it so fast and so hard and doing so many things at once, we really didn't have time. And I didn't do the poppers. I started to do the poppers, and I told her, I said, I really ain't got time. And she allowed, I really didn't have time. So the 2 I'd cut and prepped, I threw them away, because I don't eat just jalapenos plain. And I told her, if the other 10 go bad, they go bad, throw them away. You know, they cost like 89 cents a pound, and a dozen of them might have been a pound, you know. Whatever it was. Hold on a minute. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, I didn't get to do all the cooking I was doing, but it was more important for me to get that yard work done and try to protect them little dogs of hers. So that's what I did. Now next weekend I got more stuff I need to do, and I'll do some kind of cooking. I need to bring it out here. I mean, it's really helped my paycheck a lot with me not eating out of them truck stops. And you can easily save yourself a couple $100 a week without even trying. So that's what I just soon do. So I'll do something. We're starting to get a little bit of build up in the freezer for these meals. She had a couple of bowls of stew she had made. I planned on bringing one of them out, and it didn't work out that way. But it'll be alright. It won't hurt being in the freezer another week. So But anyway, I'm back out here at it. My time off was working, and my Easter was working. Now I'm up here and fixing to go to bed. One of them deals where need to go to work to get some rest. But it's all good. I like the way the place is looking. I was hoping I could video it today for you. That didn't work out. Tell you what, it was like 86 degrees or something out there. And that's hot. What am I going to do in August? Bring out the Wayne River. But anyway, that's updating you. I hope y'all had a blessed Easter. I hope you enjoyed your Easter. I hope you talked to the good Lord today on Easter. Tell him thanks for having the sunrise again. But traffic was a little heavy coming in tonight. Not as bad as I feared, but not as good as I hoped. But I made it here. So now we'll see. I'll get me loaded in the morning, get me out of here. Y'all remember, God loves you, so do I. Y'all have a blessed evening now. Good night.